Hey there, this is the idea of our project. We built a smart car that moves along a room in different directions. Its motion is controlled by a color sensor that detects 3 different colors that are specified in a colors wheel. This colors wheel spins and stops in certain times, and the color sensor detects the color that is currently specified by the color wheel when it is stopped. So when the color wheel stops at a certain color, the color sensor detects that color, and accordingly the car moves according to this color. So if it's green, the car moves forwards. If it's blue, the car moves backwards, and if it's red, the car just stops. At the same time, when the color is detected by the color sensor, a certain LED that has a color that is corresponding to the current color lights up. So it all goes synchronously between the car's motion and the color's wheel color and the color sensor detection, of course, and the LED color. And we used an Arduino Mega board that achieves this synchronization, and all the input and outputs are specified on this board. Next, we're going to explain the code of the setup of the pins and the color sensor inputs and outputs and the motors and H bridges inputs and outputs. So here's our program. First, we have this setup method that sets up all the pins that are used in our program. S0, S1, S2, S3 are the pins of the sensor that are all declared as outputs. Sensor out is the output of the sensor that reads the current color and signals the board with with its reading. And these pins are all connected to the Arduino, and we use the pin out sheet to declare them according to the Arduino Studio definition of the pins. So we have pin 30, 32, 34, 36 are the pins that controls the output pins that controls the motion of the car, the motors, and 51, 49, 47 are the pins that are connected to the LEDs, and 31, 33 are the pins that are connected to the motor that causes the colors wheel to spin. And here we are setting S0, S1 of the color sensors pins to high and low to specify the scaling frequency by 20%.
Hi, I'm Nadine Tarek. I contributed in writing the code, thus I'm going to continue what my friend Maha had said. First of all, when we run the code on the Arduino, the motor spins the color paper till it stops at a specific color. So the motor runs by setting the 2 pins, one high and one low, and it continues to move for 2000 milliseconds. After that, the motor stops, and the color sensor starts to read the color which is in front of the color sensor. To configure the color sensor to read red color, we set the S2 and S3 to low and low. Then we read the output frequency using the pulse in method and map the frequency according to the values which are specified for the red color from the color sensor which we are using. Then for detecting the green color, we set the S2 and S3 to high. Then it reads the output frequency using the pulse in as well, and mapped the frequency but with different values due to what's configured in the color sensor. Then we we set the S2 and S3 to low and high for detecting the blue color, and read the output frequency, then map it with other different values. After that, the color sensor has detected what color is in front of the sensor.
This part of the code specifies the frequency that is corresponding to the color that is detected by the color sensor. So here we check if the color is red by checking if the red frequency is the highest among the other two frequencies, and if the condition is true, we set all the motion of the car to low, so it causes it to stop, and the one red LED, we cause it to light up. And in this condition we check for the green, and we set the pins of the motors of the car to high to cause it to move forwards for a certain delay, and then it stops. And we set the green LED to high. The same thing goes for the blue, but the car motion goes backwards.
Hello, my name is Yumna and I'm going to explain for you the motors. This car. These two motors has 4 pins connected to it, pin 30, 32, 34 and 36 to move the motors. And the VCC of these motors is connected in pin 22. And the ground of these motors are connected over here. And there we have another motor that moves the colors circle. This motor has 2 pins connected to it, so it would be able to move. These pins are 31 and 33. And the ground of this motor is connected over here. And the VCC is also connected in pin 22.
Hello, my name is Nourhan and I'm going to explain for you the sensor.
Here the VCC of the sensor is connected to the 5 volt of the Arduino, and the ground here is connected over there on the ground of the Arduino, and from S node to S3 are connected in those pins. S4 is S0, pin number 5 is S1, pin number 6 is S2, and pin number 7 is S3, and the last pin here is the output from the sensor. S2 and S3 are responsible for the color that is being read right now. For instance, if the color is red, both S2 and S3 are low. If the color is green, both are high. One low and one is high. We are reading the blue color. Thank you.